These are the top 5 mistakes that veterans make when leaving the service and how to avoid them. My name's Dave. I run a channel called From Military to Millionaire. I went from broke to millionaire in the service over 5.5 years while still an active duty Marine. And now I run the largest military investing community in the world, helping service members and vets achieve financial freedom. So as you can imagine, I get a lot of DMs about all of the problems that have happened in people's lives, trying to help them fix it. And so we're going to talk through the 5 most common mistakes I see and how you can set yourself up for success to avoid these mistakes. The very first one is relying too heavily on a civilian job. And one of the pieces of this puzzle is actually just in understanding how our pay and compensation works. See, service members and vets see your leave and earning statement and they're like, wow, I made $45,000 this year. That's trash. And then they go and they get offered a $65,000 civilian job and they're like, wow, that's a $20,000 pay raise. That's math in public, like $1.5, $1,500 a month extra in my pocket that I can do whatever I want with. And that's just wrong. And here's why. When you look at your leave and earning statement, the number that you receive on your W-2 at the end of the year is the taxable portion of your income. That doesn't include all of your entitlements, or as they call them, allowances, like your basic allowance for housing or the free barracks you live in, or your comrats, which is your commuted rations, or your sustenance, right? Your pay for food allowance, healthcare, or your life insurance, or your tuition assistance, or any of these things that are wrapped into your benefits package while in the military. So I know there's a lot of people who like to whine about how small their little W-2 paycheck looks online, but really that's a benefit because you're getting housing or BAH, and you're getting an allowance for food or access to the chow hall, and that's not taxed. So all of that would be factored in as pre-tax money that you would have to earn in order to equal the same cost of living or lifestyle you have right now. For example, my very last year in the Marine Corps, my W-2 salary was something around $46,000, $48,000. I'd have to go pull it up. But my all-in total compensation package was like $112,000. So I would need to make about $112,000 pre-tax to equal the same lifestyle I was making on $46,000 while active duty. Because my BAH was $3,100 a month. So $36,000, $37,000 a year in San Diego. My sustenance, my BAS, my comrades, whatever you want to call it, was like $380 a month. So that's another, $5,000 a year. So right there, you've got $40,000, not including your health care, your dental, your life insurance, your tuition assistance, and all the other things that you're not accounting for. So when you go take this civilian job and you're like, ooh, $65,000 a year, I'm going to be balling. Wrong, because you didn't understand your compensation, and now you have to pay out of that $65,000 your health care, your dental, your living, your food, your whatever, that wasn't part of what you had to pay for while serving. So just understand your pay when you go and look for another job. Also, you may not adapt very well. You might hate that job and leave. Or you might suck at that job and get fired. Or the economy might be trash and you get fired. None of these are things you really have to worry about too much in the service, because while you're serving, unless you get a DUI or do something really egregious, you're guaranteed that job, at least until your re-enlistment comes up. You're going to be in that job field as long as you have that job, because the military is going to take you. Like, you're in. They're going to keep you. They trained you. They want you. You don't have to worry about getting fired or let go or this, that, and the other, or the business going under. Like, the government's going to keep the business afloat because they love the military, right? I'm going to get off my little soapbox here. Number 2 is your VA benefits. Now, part of this means not using your VA loan to buy a house hack, like a duplex, triplex, fourplex, live in one unit, rent the others, and live for free. I've got a ton of content on that. That's my favorite strategy for getting started in real estate. I'd be happy to help you out. If you want some more information, hit this little QR code and my team would be happy to introduce you to a recommended agent or lender in your area that can really help walk you through that. Or you can go check out the other playlists on VA loans and house hacking and just dig through my own information to really learn that specific skill set. But on top of that, your VA disability when you're getting out. You probably fit into one of like three categories while you're in the service. You either didn't get hurt, good for you, we're all jealous. You did get hurt, and you did the whole suck it up, don't go to medical thing because you wanted to be tough. You screwed yourself. Or you did get hurt, and you documented it. In which case, you're probably like, right now, woo, thumbs up. But if you didn't file your VA disability claim, or you didn't understand how to file your VA disability claim, or you filed it and didn't get what you think, or they messed some paperwork up, which happened to me, and you just don't know the process, for one, just comment down below. I'll hook you up with my buddy Vic. He's a good friend. He'll take care of you. I don't have some kind of a relationship with him as far as affiliates or anything, but great friend. If you're not taking advantage of the fact that if you got hurt, VA disability opens a lot of doors as far as some compensation that'll make your life easier. More importantly, medical care for issues that are bothering you, and potentially like Champ VA benefits for you and your family. And there's a whole bunch of other things that open up, property tax exemptions, whatever, if you get the disability compensation that you deserve. Now, I will say this right here, though. I am not here for the whole game the game, like everybody deserves 100% thing. No. But if you got hurt in the service, you deserve to be compensated for that. So don't fraud and abuse and lie through the system, but get what you deserve. So document your crap, take care of yourself, file your claim correctly, and then submit and stay on top of it. Don't let your ego and your pride get in the way of this, because VA disability is a huge benefit. And then you get to open up even more doors as far as VA loans and all these other military benefits that we all have access to. And none of that is even including your GI Bill, which I haven't even mentioned yet. And if you don't know what you want to do with your life, you should probably go to school and get a degree and figure it out. Number 3, some of y'all be shooting yourself in the foot with unnecessary debt. This is things like credit cards, auto loans on cars you shouldn't have bought, debt consolidation loans. It could be whatever. I don't generally consider mortgage in this, because unless you bought a house way outside your means that won't pay for itself, and I would say watch all my YouTube content or read my book so you don't make that mistake. Your mortgage is generally what I would consider good debt, which is lower interest, longer term, fixed rate debt that is actually tied to an asset that's going to go up in value and help you own it. Vice a car payment that might be 10, 12, 15%. For some of you knuckleheads, it's over 20%. And it's, on a depreciating asset, something that's going down in value, especially if you bought a, sports car and you're driving it into the dirt, right? And so if you have debt tied to a depreciating asset that's at a high interest rate, that's hurting you in the future. Short-term you might be like, wow, this is amazing. Long-term you is like, fuck, why'd I do that? So don't set yourself up for failure by overspending credit cards, auto loans, debt consolidation, taking on unnecessary debt. Every time you get a pay increase, you should not go and get anything that is a recurring payment to add to your expenses. I'm all for celebrating a win or a windfall or a pay increase or a promotion or anything by buying yourself something nice. But that something nice should be a one-time expense, not something that's going to recur and eat at the pay raise you just got so that you never get further ahead financially. You should be taking that extra and investing it, but that's a whole nother video. Number 4 is short-term financial thinking. A lot of us, myself included at some point, like to live in the now. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You should enjoy life. You should have experiences. But again, this goes back to the short-term versus long-term thinking, the recurring payments. If you want to go on a vacation, do it, but pay for it then. Don't take it out on debt or credit that's going to cost you 2-3 years of your life trying to catch up to it, right? Use your money financially to set yourself up for success. The more you can deny yourself a little bit of that pleasure and enjoyment and experience now to set future you on a course where you're going to be successful, the better you're going to be long term. A lot of people get out of the military and they're only thinking 6 months ahead. And they're like, I'm going to be great. And that's just not always the case. So you should have you should have money. You should plan and think long term for your goals. Where do you want to be in 10 years, 15, 20 years with your finances? And how do you set yourself up to get there now? And then finally, I would just say not having a financial plan at all. I was a command financial specialist my last couple of years in the Marine Corps, and at 3rd Marine Regiment, which is now named something totally different out in Hawaii, I was the guy that people had to go to get their interview and their financial budget plan signed off on when leaving the military. Most of y'all didn't have a plan. And most of the people I saw came to me when they'd made a mistake and their leadership was like, oh God, let's go to Dave and see if we can fix this. They didn't come to me to be like, hey, Dave, what's a good idea? How can I plan for this? How can I budget for this? How can I be proactive about this? They came as a reactive, oh shit, I fucked up, let me go talk to Dave. Or at the time, Staff Sergeant Pere. Look, you should have some kind of a plan, some kind of a budget. You should know where your money is going. You should be able to say, hey, I spent $4,000 on booze last month. Maybe if I cut it to $3,000 and invest the other $1,000, I'll set myself up better. If you spent $4,000 on booze, let's talk. You either had some pretty cool VIP bottle service and I want to come to the club with you, or you got a problem and we should probably address it before it ends up really bad, right? All jokes aside, knowing where your money goes and having a buffer for when you get out of the service, a few months of your income set aside, an emergency fund, no credit card debt, no like bad debt, short debt, high interest payment debt stuff eating at you, and having a plan and a budget is the single best thing you can do when getting out of the military. Because I'll tell you this, it is going to cost you more than you think to exit the military. You are going to mess up how much money it's going to cost you that first 6 months to a year. And you're probably going to blow some money on dumb stuff. And then there's going to be all the costs like, oh shit, I'm out of housing now. I need a new couch. Oh, we need a new TV. My car broke. My car needs tires. My oil change is overdue and I blew a rod or whatever, right? Random shit. There's always something. And so you should have money set aside for that. So the long short on this is basically can be summed up as this. Have a legitimate plan with more cash, more buffer, less debt than you think you need. Take a job that actually will compensate you for the entire pay that you're receiving in the military, not just what your W-2 taxable income says, right? And use your VA benefits to the max to help set yourself up for success. And if you can do those three things and just have a plan, use your benefits correctly and wisely and whatever, and take a good job, or at least set yourself up for something that'll make more money than you made in the military instead of more money than you think you made because you didn't understand the pay structure, you'll set yourself up for a much better transition. And then you can worry about the intangible things like trying to figure out who the hell you are now that you're out of the military and your identity, your purpose, and all of that stuff, which is a little bit more of a long form conversation, but I've got videos on that. Go check out my video, like 8 things I wish I'd known when I joined the military. It'll really help you out with that like mental side of transition, because I'll be real, even with never having to take another W-2 because I was financially set up for success, financially free, transitioning out of the military was not an easy thing. There was a lot of stuff that came up that I wasn't anticipating, whether mental or emotional or whatever, and I want you guys to be set up for success all around, not just financially. That said, we are here to help you guys financially, so drop your questions, drop your comments. I would love to be able to point you in the right direction and help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made. Please make sure you're subscribed, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.